الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. We're discussing the Makrooh times of Salat. What we discussed thus far, that at the actual time of sunrise, when the sun pops on the horizon, or the time of Zawal, when the sun pauses in the middle of the sky, when the sun starts setting, a portion goes down, there's no Salah you can read except the Asr of that day, right? And we gave you all the reasoning. So these are the times when Salah is not valid. Then we discuss, in addition to that, we discuss the times when Salat is Makrooh. That means if you read it, it's done, it is Makrooh. Right? So we said, once you have read your Asr Salah, after that, to read any Nafil Salah is Makrooh, but you can read a Qadha Salah so long as you do not go into the Makrooh time when the sun becomes weak. And similarly, after you read your Fajr Farz Namaz, after that, to read any Nafil is Makrooh, but you cannot go into the time if you're reading Qadha Namaz. Sorry, you can read Qadha Namaz after Fajr, but obviously you have to do it before the sunrise, but not Nafil Namaz. That is what we discussed. Then we said also that if you read your Sajda Tilawat or you read Janazah Namaz on these times, right, then uh, it will be done because that is the time it has become Farz. The sabab is found there that time. I see. What else? Right. Will we stop? Again, just show me, read again, inshallah. Yeah. So okay, just go. We go but forward. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Reading from here. ويكره أن يتنفل بعد الفجر حتى تطلع الشمس. Ne? From there. Ne? Right. So okay, read from there. Bismillah. Okay, read from ويكره. Just go. Yeah. So ويكره أن يتنفل بعد الفجر حتى تطلع الشمس. It is makruh to read any nafal namaz after Fajr. وبعد العصر حتى تغرب, and also after Asr until the sunset. We discussed this here, right? That once you read your Asr namaz, you after that you can't read any nafil. To such an extent, if you came into the masjid or you're making tawaf, a lot of people ask this question. Then the two nafil of tawaf, after that you can't read it. You'll have to wait till when? You'll have to wait till sunset, right? Why? لما روي أنه عليه السلام نهى عن ذلك, that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited to read any nafil namaz at that time. Carry on. Yeah. So look here. Nafil namaz is not correct. Nafil namaz is not correct after Asr. Nafil namaz is not correct after Fajr. But what you can do, ولا بأس بأن يصلي في حال وقتين الفوائد. You can read your qadha namaz, right? I told you can read your qadha namaz. And ويسجد للتلاوة. If you recited a sajda ayat at that time, you can make the sajda. ويسجد للتلاوة ويصلي على الجنازة, and you can, if the janaza is there, comes after Asr, comes after Fajr, you can read it, right? Why? Okay. لأن الكراهة كانت لحق الفرض ليصير الوقت كالمشغول بهم. Okay, I'm going to give you the reasoning here. Now first, I'll explain it. It was slightly complex, but not so difficult, and then we'll fit it in. They say, look here, why are you allowed to read Qadha namaz after Asr? Why are you allowed to read Qadha namaz after Fajr? You see, these times have been designated for Fajr. And these times have been, so there is, okay, before I go, there is a Naqli Dalil, there's a hadith in Bukhari Sharif. Let me read it here. It comes in the, so it comes in Bukhari Sharif. أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن الصلاة بعد الصبح. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited from salah after the morning حتى تشرق الشمس, until the sun rise, وبعد العصر, and after Asr حتى تغرب, until the sun set. So that is our Naqli Dalil. What's it? That is our textual evidence. that why you can't read Nafil Namaz after Asr and why you can't read Nafil Namaz after Fajr. There we got the clear hadith, strong hadith from Bukhari Sharif, right? Then, besides that, Sahib Hidayah has brought also a Aqli Dalil, a logical proof. And what is a logical proof? This is a logical proof. It sounds a bit complex. He's saying, look here, this time has been designated for Fajr. This time has been designated for Asr. So we're not going to allow you to do something else out of your own. If you're going to, if we're going to allow you to read Nafil Namaz after Fajr, or we're going to allow you to read Nafil Namaz after Asr, what is going to happen? You are going to rush through your faraz to read a Nafil, and then the Fajr and the Asr will be compromised. Are you with me? Then the question will come to your mind, okay, so if you're saying that Nafil is going to, if you're going to allow you to do Qaza Namaz, then also you're going to rush through your Asr, and you're going to rush through your Fajr, and your Asr and Fajr is going to be compromised because of your Qaza. We say, no, see, Qaza Namaz is slightly different. Qaza Namaz, you never make it compulsory upon you. Shariat has commanded you to do that. So it's not because of you doing. So if you compromise your Asr or you compromise your Fajr, it's not because of your own doing. You don't have to be punished. Shariat has commanded you to do your Qaza. You understood that? So that's what they're saying. So here in the next Ibarat, they're going to explain you why it will be the logical proof. I gave you the Naqli Dalil that Nabi Sallallahu prohibited there. I read it to you. See, I said Bukhari Sharif. He says, yeah. So this is a proof to say it's makruh to read Nafil Namaz. أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم نهى عن الصلاة بعد الصبح حتى تشرق الشمس وبعد العصر حتى تغرب. Right. So that is your Naqli Dalil. The Aqli Dalil, why you can't read Nafil Namaz. Yes, see, follow. لأن الكراهة, why is it makruh to read Nafil Namaz? كانت لحق الفرض. It's because of the right of the farz. This time supposed to be you supposed to read your farz nicely, right? It's because, in other words, you can say, uh, so that the farz will be compromised. Why? It's the right of the farz. ليصير الوقت كالمشغول به. So if we're not going to allow you to read Nafal Namaz, it is as though you have read Farz Namaz in the entire time. In the entire Asr time, you've read your Farz Namaz. As though you have read Fajr in the entire time. As though you read Asr in the entire time. As though you have designated. Like, sometimes I want to see you, I want to speak to you. Say, look here, I want you to come and see me now. But I want your exclusive attention. You mustn't be busy with your phone. You mustn't be talking. I need you for 30 minutes only. I want your, yeah, that's the word. I'm looking for your undivided attention for 30 minutes. Not phoning, not speaking to anybody else. I want your undivided attention. The same thing we're saying here. We want that time of Asr and that time of Fajr to be undivided for the Asr and for the Fajr. Not that you're going to rush through it so that you may read other type of nafils. That's what it's exactly. لأن الكراهة, the dislike of reading nafil namaz, كانت لحق الفرض. It is to fulfill the right of the farz, right? ليصير الوقت, so that entire Asr time, that entire Fajr time, ليصير will become كالمشغول به, as though it was being occupied with the Fajr, as though, although basically you won't be occupying it. I mean, your Asr is not going to last the whole 1.5 hours, or your Fajr is not going to last the whole 1.5 hours of Fajr time. But if there's the only namaz you're reading, so as though that time has been dedicated to only that salah, it has not been shared with anybody else. Are you with me? Somebody like if I say I want your undivided attention, so for half an hour, you came here, even though I never speak to you for the full half an hour, I speak to you for 15 minutes, and the other 15 minutes you wouldn't do anything. But I'll still say, this guy, he gave me his undivided attention for half an hour because you're not busy with something else, right? So same thing, what they're saying. So we're not going to allow you to read Nafil Namaz so that we can say that that whole time has been, the time of Fajr, the time of Asr has been dedicated, right? to that particular salah. That's what he's saying. That's what I mean there. لأن الكراهة, because the dislike of reading nafil namaz, كانت, it is because لحق الفرض, to fulfill the right of the faraz, right? That the time must be designated for him. ليسير الوقت, so it must be as such, it must appear that the time كالمشغول به, it was entirely occupied with that salah, right? So they say لا لمعنى في الوقت. It's not that there's a problem with the time itself. What they say, like, the actual sunrise, there's a problem with that time. Salah is not valid at that time. As time of zawal, there's a problem with that time. That time is not, you can't read salah on that. And then sunset, there's a problem with that time. So there, the problem is in the time itself. So if you read salah at that time, the salah is not valid. If you read nafil at that time, it's not valid at all. You understand what I'm saying? But here, the problem is not with the time. The problem is that you are compromising the asr. You are compromising the fajr. So if you read enough, that's why we'll say don't read nafil namaz, right? But and since the time is because you're going to be prejudicing the time of the asr salat, you're going to be prejudicing the fajr salat. So the time is good. So since there's no problem with the time, qada namaz will take place then. You understood it? So see there, la li ma'nan fil waqti, not because of a reason in the actual time. So falam tadhhar fi haqqil fara'idi. So the problem will not be with regards to the fara'is. Why? Because I told you it's not in the faraz namaz. You are not out of your own prejudicing the asr namaz. This is from the side of Shariat. So Shariat has said that you have to read your faraz namaz. So it's not like you out of your own, like, some in this dunya, even if somebody does something voluntarily, you say punish him. But when he made a mistake, but it was not because of his doing, then we won't punish him. So two things they're telling you. There's no problem with the time. The time is fine. So, so if you read your qada namaz, it will be done. It will be valid because the time is fine. It is just that we didn't want you out of your own to compromise the fajr. We didn't want you out of your own to compromise the asr. But when you're reading your qada namaz, you're not doing it out of your own. Shariat has mandated you to read your qada namaz whenever you can. You understood? So that's what he's saying there. فَلَمْ تَظْهَرْ فِي حَقِّ الْفَرَائِضِ. So this is to say that you are prejudicing the salah. That will not come about when you are reading qada namaz. Why? وَفِي مَا وَجَبَ. And in also that thing which became wajib because of you, because of another reason. كَسَجْدَةِ tilawati. If you recite the sajda tilawa, then Shariat says you have to make the sajda. It's not that you are doing voluntarily, or maybe somebody else was reading and you heard, so you never make it compulsory upon yourself. So if you heard a sajda tilawa verse, you can do it. وَظَهَرَ فِي حَقِّ الْمَنْذُورِ. Right. And also, if you so the prohibition will also come fi haqqil manzuri. If you took a nazar that I'm going to read 2 rakats nafil namaz, or I'm going to read 2 rakats nafil namaz after asr, they also, we will not allow it. Why? Because you out of your own are prejudicing what? You are prejudicing the asr salah, the fajr namaz, right? So لأنه تتعلق وجوبه بسبب من جهتي. Because why? We won't allow you to read your nazar namaz. No, your nazar say, Allah, if this happened, if I pass, if I'm cured, then I promise to read so many rakats. We won't allow it because you are out of your own prejudicing, right? Unlike the qadha namaz, it's not out of your own. Shariat said you must read it. You understand it? So لأنه تتعلق وجوبه بسبب من جهته. Because its compulsion is related to a reason coming from his side, so out of his own, right? وفي حق ركعتي الطواف. And also, if you made tawaf, it means you were not. It was not necessary for you to do the tawaf at that point in time. So now that means you took it upon yourself. You made it mandatory upon yourself, the 2 rakats of tawaf. So they also we say it will not be allowed there, right? Because you'll be prejudicing the asr namaz, you will be prejudicing the fajr namaz, right? وفي حق الذي شرع فيه ثم أفسده. And there's another masala in the Hanafi madhab that when you start a nafil act, it becomes compulsory upon you to complete it. When you start a nafil act, it is necessary for you to complete it. So now, if you started nafil, now you're going to make qada that nafil. There's a principle called lazima naflu bishuru'ihi, right? Right? وَفِي الَّذِي شَرَعَ فِيهِ ثُمَّ. That also, we won't allow you to do the qada that nafil namaz, because you done it of your own, and out of your own accord, you're practicing, right? لأن الوجوب لغيره, right? They speak about the two rakats of tawaf. The wujub لغيره, it is because of an external reason, right? And what is it? وهو ختم الطواف, and it is that you finish the tawaf. وصيانة مؤدى للبطلان, and we want to protect, right? Right, so وهو الختم الطواف. Then the next one is وصيانة مؤدى للبطلان. That day is speaking about protecting. If you read nafal namaz and then you broke it and then you have to do the qadha, what you have to do, that also is not because Sharia told you to do it. It is you want to protect your nafil namaz, right? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. So it is something you took upon yourself. It is something you took upon yourself. And it was not necessary for you to take it upon yourself to prejudice the time of Asr and to prejudice the time of Fajr. Hence, we'll say you cannot read all these type of namazes after Asr. Yes, the qadha namaz, that you can, because you out of your own not prejudicing, Shariat has mandated you to do it, right? Okay, what's the time there? Okay, let's stop there. We'll 2, 3 ibaras, and we're going to start to the next chapter, inshallah. So, I told you I want to round up the whole discussion. A lot of things we discussed on Monday, we'll try to round up the whole discussion also. But we'll stop there now. We're going to switch over to tafsir, inshallah. So